Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Max Verstappen will never be the greatest. Here's why. I definitely don't agree with that statement. I believe Max is on pace to definitely become the GOAT. If he continues at this pace, I can't tell you. I know 2024 season is wrapped up. Max is going to take that easily. But then on, I can't see the future, but never be the greatest is crazy. I need to hear an explanation for this. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so I get suggested. Let's hear this.
I am the greatest.
Greatness, yeah? That old chestnut. What does that even look like?
The crowd are roaring, and Max Verstappen takes the lead.
Who is the most naturally talented driver you've ever seen on a track?
Max.
When you think of greatness, who comes to mind?
I must be the greatest.
True.
Power on the rise. It's the sight.
Who's on top there? Is it Ronaldo or is it Messi? Who's the GOAT of soccer?
Michael Jordan is the unanimous MVP.
Neal has 19 gold medals.
He's the greatest there ever was. He's the greatest there'll ever be.
I'm not one of Max's biggest fans, to be honest. I'm one of these people. Yeah, no, I think he's massively overrated. He doesn't really understand what he's doing.
You see, despite what the Verstappen naysayers want you to believe, when it comes to building a case for Max Verstappen's greatness in real time, well, it's an open and shut case, Johnson. Because at its cornerstone, to be great, one has to do great things. And not on a one-off flash in the pan type vibe, I know. You've got to have a body of work here. I mean, think Barcelona 2016.
Max Verstappen wins, and at the tender age of 18.
Think Miami 23.
Max Verstappen takes the lead at the Miami Grand Prix.
Think Suzuka 22. Each of them epitomizes weapons grade peddling by anyone's standards. Senna and Clark, even in the racing heavens, would be on there.
I can't believe that man said he thinks Max Verstappen is overrated, dog. How could Max be overrated? It ain't possible, dog. When you done seen him dominate over these years, when you've seen teammates in the exact same car as him, he's way faster than them. He's winning by such big margins. How is he overrated? No.
Standing ovation settings. To boot, the son of Yoss is breaking records almost as casually as you take a trip down to your local Walmart. I mean, this fella currently holds most wins, most points, most podiums in a season. His nears makes no difference, youngest, everything. I mean, is this dude collecting the Infinity Stones or what? Not to mention at 72.2%, the highest pole to victory conversion of anyone currently on the grid. That's to say that when defending, Verstappen is Senna-esque in how wide he makes his car. One doesn't just simply overtake a Max Verstappen from P2. I know, want an easy life, better out-qualify him. And I know some of these records are inflated because there were more races in a season than there was yesteryear, I get it. But this year, barring accidents, he'll be a three-time champion at the tender age of 26. What are we even doing here? This is insane.
About to be a four-time champion after this year.
Insane, man. If that's not greatness, quite frankly, I don't know what to tell you. But context is key, some may say, and that RB19 is far too fast to get a proper read on Max's greatness. Well, hang on a second. Verstappen started in 14th in Miami and beat his teammate to the checkered flag with time in hand, in equal machinery. Oh, and by the way, Checo started on pole in clear air with not a safety car in sight. That's bonkers.
That's wild.
What are we talking about here even? From what planet did this fella come? But hold on, Cameron, pump the brakes for a second. What about adversity? He's not faced any, has he? Huh? So where are we even watching in 2021 or now? A season where controversial finale discounted, a 23-year-old Max Verstappen went wheel to wheel with the 7-time champion every single race weekend. I mean, you want to look up adversity in the F1 dictionary, and a picture of the 2021 season is what you'll see. But go on, Cam, how is he in the wet? Because every man and their dog knows that that's how you separate the truly good from the truly great.
He's amazing in the wet.
Well, how about this? I'll see your reign and I will raise you changeable conditions. Because anyone who's ever steered a wheel in anger will tell you that of the two, changeable conditions is the harder drive. You have more balls to juggle, more questions to answer. Where's the grip going to come from one lap to the next? Am I on the right tyre? If not, when do I pit and what tyres do I pit for? This was the racing Rubik's Cube that the drivers had to solve for this year in Monaco. And Verstappen, well, he was a fish in water, wasn't he? Calm. Because Verstappen's ability to keep it out the barriers on tyres that were on their last legs made Fernando Alonso two-time champion. Well, look a bit silly, really. And he's no slouch. And if we're going to venture into the territory of performances in torrential rain, on the wall of greatest F1 drives in wet weather, the Dutch fella's Brazil 2016 drive sits right alongside Donington 93 and Silverstone 08. If it's wet in 2023 and your name's not Max Verstappen, don't even bother. Top step.
I swear to God. Basically, 2023, no matter what conditions it was, if your name wasn't Max, don't even bother. What, he lose 3 races the entire season? That was insane.
The podium, not your race. And this is why we have to engage the Max Verstappen greatness conversation meaningfully. But what about his one-lap pace, Cam? Because he's not that great in quali, that Verstappen fella. Well, you saw Monaco quali this year, didn't you? Where we were privileged enough to experience a Sector 3 that some aficionados said was the best Sector 3 around any track that they'd ever seen. So there's pole lap in 88 included. That's saying something. Because going into one of the shortest sectors on the F1 calendar, he was 2 tenths down on Alonso. 2 tenths. And he finished the lap a tenth up. You don't just gain 3 tenths on Alonso in a sector that spans less than 20 seconds. I mean, you couldn't write it in a book of fiction. They wouldn't believe you. In 2023, there's a certain inevitability about Max Verstappen's work. I mean, he's doing impossible things on 4 wheels on a weekly at the moment. Those Monaco barriers, they pull no punches. Go ask Checo Perez if you don't believe me. But as Verstappen so delicately threads the needle through those Monaco city streets, he makes a willing dance partner out of those barriers. Because you see, in the relentless pursuit of perfection, greatness is the ability to tap into the greatest of your abilities in the moments where you need them most.
I love
Monaco
that.
this year is proof positive that this fella has all of that in his locker. I mean, he just does. People would say of Michael Jordan that he laced up for every single game, safe in the knowledge that he turned over all the stones in his preparation that his opponents weren't prepared to. And with Verstappen's do-or-die driving style in mind, and the fact that he spends longer in the sim than he ever would in an F1 car, does that attitude remind you of anything? And it's true that the great ones don't need much of an opportunity. If you so much as leave the door cracked, the great ones won't hesitate to kick it down. And to that point, I'll never forget seeing Max Verstappen nail the Mercedes pairing into turn 1 at Mexico City in 2021.
Verstappen is into the lead, ahead of Hamilton. Bottas gets 10.
Nor will I ever forget the god-tier tyre management at COTA that same year that enabled him to fend off a charging 7-time champion in Lewis Hamilton on fresher rubber, no less.
Here we go then, we're heading towards the last lap.
On US soil, Max Verstappen wins the US Grand Prix.
I mean, nobody does.
Max is different, bro. Max is really, come on. I'm not saying his body of work is ready to be the GOAT yet, but I'm saying his body of work is progressing on that path. Definitely progressing on that path.
That to Lewis. And as a connoisseur of greatness, I always think there's more fun to be had from watching the journey en route. You know, like Neo in the Matrix, because knowing the path and walking it are 2 very different things. Watching athletes on their journey to greatness, it's invigorating. The outcome, uncertain. But you know, I think with Max, sadly, we're past that phase, because this fella's been ticking all the greatness boxes. But there is a problem here because the goalposts have long shifted for Max. Like all greats, he's grown unsatisfied with yesterday's accolades. I know his sights are no longer on greatness. He's focused on being the greatest. Yeah, that's right.
it.
The best to ever do it. And this is where it gets techie. Because sadly for Max, through no fault of his own, even if he goes on to win another 20 championships, his maiden victory will always be shrouded in controversy.
This was the ultimate dream, and now that we have achieved that, everything what comes next is a bonus.
I think yeah, but no, because there were many things that were put against Max as well as things that helped Max in that year. So I feel like as many things helped Max, as many calls or anything that helped Max, there were just as many calls against Max that tried to hold him back that year. So it was a very controversial year. It was a controversial maiden victory. I will agree with that, but I think it was deserved. I think he fought hard for it. I mean, at the end of the day, he was the winner.
What comes next has been controversy.
And some will say that being embroiled in that level of controversy is an automatic DQ when it comes to the race with the greatest of all time. And you know, they might be onto something. I mean, think Schumacher, think Maradona, think Tiger Woods, think Ben Johnson. Oh, it's a tough one, this. And since there's no official panel of arbitration to determine who's the greatest, nor even an official F1 Hall of Fame to speak of, the tale of whether Max Verstappen will one day be in the conversation for the greatest of all time will ultimately be told by his story.
Facts. I didn't know there was no F1 Hall of Fame. There should be. That's all we got. Make sure y'all subscribe, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. It's your boy D Neal. Out.